Tonight, how Common Core causes a mix-up in the Louisiana survey, and an update on the Boston Marathon and how one of our very own Tiger TV staff members participated.
And the plus-minus grading scale to be implemented in the upcoming fall semester. All this and more Newsbeat starts right now.
Good evening, Tigers. I'm Cody Krupp, filling in for Michael Edmondson.
And I'm Jackie Massey. Thanks for tuning in tonight. No matter how much student government opposed the plus-minus grading scale, it will begin this fall. LSU students were sent a broadcast email last week saying the policy is mandatory next semester. A student government resolution urged President F. King Alexander not to approve the scale. In the time between January 2012 and October 2013, student government received more than 200 emails about the topic, and only 2% supported the change to a plus-minus grading scale.
The Boston Marathon took place yesterday, and Laisa Daisa of Ethiopia came in first with a time of 2 hours, 19 minutes, and 17 seconds. Tiger TV's Michael Edmondson ran and completed the race with a time of his own of 3 hours, 1 minute, and 3 seconds. And Daisa also won the marathon in 2013, the year of the bombings, and the bomber Johar Tazarneev trial will begin today.
Is the word Common Core too common? Tiger TV's Michaela Morgan has the latest on how many residents base their knowledge of Common Core standards on just hearing the name Common Core.
Since 2003, the Public Policy Research Lab at LSU has conducted its annual Louisiana survey, which gathers data on what the public really thinks of various statewide issues. Each year, the survey is compiled of similar questions from years before, but will also include questions about the most pressing issues that the public faces at that particular time. And to top off one of this year's hot topics was Common Core. Research Director for the LSU Public Policy Research Lab, Michael Henderson, says that the survey found that many Louisiana residents overall are simply confused.
About Common Core, you use the label Common Core. A slim majority, but a majority nonetheless, of Louisiana adult residents oppose Common Core. It was 51% opposed, only about 37% support. But when you drop the name, give the other version of the question that's the same in every way except using the name, you get a big jump in support.
And after Governor Jindal's recent opposition to the standards, even many educators are now left confused.
They truly don't know exactly what that word entails. But really, it's not all that different than what we had been doing before. Common Core is simply just a set of standards that you derive your lessons from.
LSU education major Taylor Tyser says that she thinks the biggest reason for the Common Core fear is the lack of residents seeing the standards for what they simply are. Standards, not the exact lesson plans of teachers.
Learns in a different way. And I think people think that Common Core should have one teaching way and one learning way, and that's not the way that it's supposed to be.
For Tiger TV, I'm Michaela Morgan.
On Monday, the first Common Core battle in the state legislative session ended with the anti-Common Core House members losing the fight.
The 94th annual Songfest competition was held on Sunday afternoon in the PMAC. Songfest is a choreographer dance competition among LSU fraternities and sororities and also serves as a fundraising event for the Greek Board of Directors. This year included themes ranging from 80s prom to Barbie and Ken's dream house to a Sarhi through the decades. KD, Fidel, and Pike placed third, DG, AGR, and Theta Chi placed second, and Tried Out, Phi, and Teak took home the first place prize.
We put in so much time and effort, and we just let's go out there and have a great time. So winning first was
we're not
so excited.
So excited.
No, Phi Psi was good.
Songfest is the final programming initiative for the semester for the Board of Greek Directors. It's feeling a little cold outside this morning, at least for Louisiana standards.
Yeah, I was pretty cool walking over to class. I was up at 8. Is it cold in Wisconsin?
Well, I did see a couple tweets today that it was snowing, so unfortunately for them, my apologies, because I think this is beautiful here.
Do you want to build a snowman?
A snowman. But we're going to come up, we're going to find out how our weather's doing. Kristen Pertel, what do you got for us?
Hey Tigers, this morning was a little cooler than usual, and it looks like you can expect similar temperatures for tonight.
Temperatures are going to be in the 50s tonight, and there's going to be a 0% chance of rain. For Wednesday, you can expect temperatures to rise back up to the upper 80s, and it's going to be partly cloudy throughout the day. There's also going to be only a 20% chance of rain for tomorrow, so no rain. And the weather's been super nice so far this week, but sadly we're not going to escape the rain entirely this week because this Thursday there's going to be an 80% chance of rain. There's most likely going to be some thunderstorms in the morning with some scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon. And that's all the weather I have for now. Keep watching to find out if Thursday's rain is going to stay with us through the weekend. Now back to you at the desk.
A big decision from a top basketball recruit could leave the Tigers with a #1 class in the nation. More on the Baton Rouge native coming up in sports.
We'll be right back after this break.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank all y'all. I'd like to further my education and my basketball career with Louisiana State University.
You heard it right. It's LSU for Baton Rouge native Brandon Sampson. I'm Cody Krupp, and welcome into sports. Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, the likely names to see on top of the basketball recruiting landscape. But after the Louisiana Basketball Player of the Year decided to stay in the Bayou, it's the purple and gold holding the top spot. One of the most intriguing guards of the 2015 class, Sampson gave his verbal to St. John's, but after a coaching change, he opened it back up and laid the hats down for one final decision. LSU, St. John's, or Oklahoma State. And there it is, the Madison Prep Academy star has pushed the Tigers to the new #1 in the 247 recruiting rankings, and an already stocked backcourt makes deeper with Sampson, but he is ready to make his own kind of difference.
It seemed like every time I asked him, he was telling me the same thing. If I came in and worked, I would get in the position I wanted. So that's what I plan to do, and go in and just outwork everybody that I can just to get my spot. I'm playing with some top guys, Antonio Blakely, Ben Simmons, so I know I'll get a lot of recognition, put myself on that stage and show why I can be considered to play top guys with those.
LSU softball with a rare Monday finale to their 3-game set with Texas A&M. The Tigers were winners of their first 2 and look to get out the broom and sweep the Aggies back to College Station. 1,400 in attendance for this one, including a host of football players like Trayvon Durrell, Leonard Fournette, Brandon Harris, and others. LSU trailed 2-0 entering the 5th and hadn't got a hit. But here it comes for the Tigers. Constant Quinn, a 1-out single to score Elena Falcon, 2-1 Texas A&M. Then in the 6th, Savannah Jaquish, a bomb. We're now tied 2-2, her 17th of the year, and that is her own record. Back-to-back years, she sets it for the most home runs. But in the top of the 7th, 2 outs, 2 on, Kristen Canoa's gone. Off of Bailey Corbello, LSU just 5 hits, and they lose 5-2, and a frustrated Coach Beth Torina after this one.
Texas A&M was honestly better prepared than we were tonight, and that's on me as well as them. I think our team was a little complacent tonight, was happy with winning a series, and maybe didn't understand the magnitude of this game, being able to defend the undefeated at Tiger Park, being able, to hold on to that first place in the SEC, and that's on me as much as it is on them.
#1 versus #2. A battle for the nation's top spot will be on the line this weekend for Coach Maneri's squad with a battle of their own versus the Aggies. But waiting to play spoiler tonight is the Tulane Green Wave. The opening pitch is scheduled for 6:30 p.m., and there will be no looking ahead for the Tigers.
#1 versus #2. I don't care how much you play down polls or what the sport is. It's always exciting when what is considered the top 2 teams in the country.
And of course, the dynamic duo in the backcourt. And here comes Curry.
Playoff here, Stephen Curry goes past Davis. He finishes with 22 on the day. But fourth quarter, Warriors keep hanging around. Eric Gordon hits a step-back 3. Look at that, 23 points for Gordon, stepping up big in injury. Under 4 to play, crowd on their feet. Klay Thompson with the catch and the jumper knocks that one down. Warriors take a 6-point lead. Now, under 2 minutes to go, clock ticking away for the Pels. Thompson again on the drive, fights up for the shot and scores. Draws the foul, add 1 to that. Warriors go on with 26, and they put the pedal to the metal. Now up 9. Next postseason, well, hopefully that's going to be the next win, as Anthony Davis finishes with 26 points, but not enough as they fall 87-97. Up next, we'll have more on the success of this year's Relay for Life and how the BP oil spill is still lurking as the 5th anniversary comes upon us. Stay tuned.
After a week of soggy weather, rain sure couldn't stop this group's parade. Saturday, the annual Relay for Life was moved from the parade ground into the LSU Student Union. Organizations around campus put together teams and gathered to raise money for cancer research. Students who have conquered the disease got the chance to take a victory lap with their loved ones while also spreading awareness. Among the festivities to celebrate life were Zumba and belly dancing. Many participants in the event have had their personal lives touched by cancer in some way.
We get to remember everyone who's passed away, everyone who is fighting, and everyone who is beating cancer. It's beautiful to see the amount of people come together to fight for such a wonderful cause.
After months of fundraising, LSU collected almost $38,000 at this year's relay.
5 years ago, more than 200 million gallons of oil spewed out of the Deepwater Horizon oil rig. At first, most of the damages were obvious, like tar balls on the beach and oil-covered pelicans. CNN's Drew Griffith goes back to the scene of the explosions and how the cleanup continues.
Barataria Bay, Louisiana. The marshes and the shores of these small islands were once covered in oil. Today, from our boat, we spot 24 workers wearing face masks, shoveling, working on a stretch of beach. We pull up to take a look.
How you doing? Doing good. Drew Griffin with CNN. Nice to meet you, sir. And this is Philippe Cousteau.
How's it going? We have to have you stay away from the hazardous material at the moment, because it is a cleanup site.
The hazardous material turned out to be BP's oil, a 90-foot-long, 30,000-pound tar mat. We had a small tar ball tested, and it matched the oil from the spill.
The fact is, 5 years later, there is still oil. Oil in big enough clumps that it needs to be dug up by a crew like this, digging down 30 inches, trying to take it and remove it.
The pockets of tar mats that still exist are in areas that are known to us, but which were deemed by the federal government to be better to leave alone there and let them be naturally exposed to through erosion, and then for us to clean them. So as they appear, we are finding them and removing them, but none of them poses a threat to human or aquatic life.
And is this going to go on for years and years?
However long it goes on, the company is committed to cleaning up that which is exposed and that which is Macondo oiled.
Oil rigs in the Gulf are attempting to boost safety precautions for future deepwater drilling continues.
Up next, I'll talk about the latest bills addressing prisoners and Common Core.
And Kristen Bertel will be with us again to show us if the sunshine herself will have some sunshine for this weekend. We'll be right back. Although I'm not a weatherman, I can certainly tell it's been raining a lot. And Kristen Bertel is in the studio to tell us if we can finally ditch that umbrella. What do you say, Kristen?
Well, welcome back to the weather. For the past couple of days, we've had perfect weather for walking around campus or really doing anything outside. And it looks like tomorrow you can expect the same type of weather we've been having, but with some partly cloudy skies. Also, you can plan for some thunderstorms by Thursday and Friday because there's going to be an 80% chance of rain for both of those days. But luckily for us, by Saturday and Sunday, the rain should stop because there's only going to be a 20% chance of rain. So you can plan to spend most of this weekend outside too because it's going to be only partly cloudy. Just be sure to wear some sunscreen if you're planning on spending time outside because UV index is going to be pretty high for both those days. Well, that's all the weather I have for you today. Thanks for watching. Now back to you at the desk.
Hello, welcome to your weekly political update. A representative wants to prevent ex-prisoners from diving back into the drug industry. Representative Dorothy Hill's bill will give former prisoners the chance to qualify for a one-year driver's license after they pass their driving test. She says the license will allow them to drive a car to a job. She says the only thing they do in Baton Rouge, notice the emphasis on they, is plant marijuana. This bill will apply to one-year prisoners who have lost, suspended, or revoked licenses. Hill says she hopes this bill will give inmates a chance to start over. In other news, the Louisiana legislature has decided to keep the Common Core education standards for school. House members voted 61-36 on a bill that gets rid of these standards. Usually bills like these are heard first in committee, but Representative Brett Gayman decided to move the bill to a full House vote. He did this because parents complain that most of the Education Committee supports Common Core. Gayman says his proposed process will help parents trust the Louisiana legislature more. There's more bills, more Common Core testing, and more money, at least for David Vitter. U.S. Senator David Vitter will announce his $1.1 million campaign for governor this week. Other candidates like Governor Scott Angel, Jay Darden, and John Bell Edwards did not file their fundraising amounts yet. These finance records are due next week and include finances from January 1st to April 17th. So far, Vidder has raised about $5.2 million from 8,000 contributors since last year. That's all the news I have this week. Stay tuned next Tuesday for another political update.
After the break, more on the Blue Bell ice cream recall and a unique book published by the LSU Press. Stay tuned.
LSU alumna and journalist Maggie Richardson brings readers throughout the culture of Louisiana centered around food. Richardson travels through the state, focusing on local farms, markets, and roadside vendors in her new cookbook, Hungry for Louisiana, An Omnivore's Journey. The book doesn't just feature food, but touches on the history of iconic foods like crawfish, snowballs, boudin, and jambalaya. Richardson says her inspiration came from watching individuals in the food industry.
Blue Bell Creamery lovers are upset after the company recalled all their products due to the fear of listeria. All frozen snacks have been pulled from the store shelves, and Blue Bell officials say ice cream, frozen yogurt, and sherbet contaminated with the organism listeria causes serious and even fatal infections in people with weakened immune systems. Blue Bell stated they decided on a full voluntary recall after finding listeria in the chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream twice in March. The company is implementing a test and hold procedure during the recall, and all recalled products will be tested and re-released if found safe. More information, visit www.bluebell.com. Coming after the break, many people are already making bets about future royal baby. What do you think the name will be?
I'm sure they'll make a bet, and bet on my name. It should be Jackie, right? Jackie would be a great name.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, guys.
The newest royal isn't even born, and the baby is already making waves. Gamblers have already put almost $3,000 betting Prince William and Duchess Kate will have a little princess named Alice.
But some are still betting that the royal couple will have a little boy named James. Companies are also letting people place bets on the date of birth, hair color, weight, and the identity of the godparents. Bets on this prince or princess are lower than when Kate gave birth to Prince George, but companies are hopeful that the interest will pick up soon. Thanks for watching tonight, Tigers. Make sure to visit us at tigertv.tv and follow us on Instagram at LSU Tiger TV.
And make sure to watch us next week for our very last show of the semester.
So sad.
Have a good night.